Good morning, traders. Hope you had a nice weekend. Good morning, Robert Pro, James, Dusty, Chad, Bob Peterson, JC, Esil, Rick Shelton, Dennis, Broke Joe, Kyle, Yolanda, Michael, Ford, Bill DW, Pat, Picker, Mr. Rodriguez, Installer Pro, Higher Ground, Alex Tan, good morning, Jeff, Stephen. Not much happening on those and around. Good morning, Hung, Gordon. Maybe something will happen. Let's see. It's Monday. Good morning, Dana, Boonski. Thank you, Wayne. Really appreciate it. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, Bob Smith. We have about 3 minutes to go. Good morning, WM. Francisco, Rodrigo. Man, you guys are ready for this morning. Good morning, Hawa, Narendra. Good morning, Roth. Watching the watch list here. If you're new here, we'll be watching this volume spike column. This one here is watching the volume for us for anything that's moving. So we watch for these volume spikes to pop in. This momentum scanner is watching for any stock that moves 30 minutes back. So anything that's moved within the last 30 minutes is going to get a number. A low number if it's barely moved, a high number if it's moved quite a bit. Once we see them spiking over here, we take a look at the chart and make sure I've got V4 up here. And I do. Just not big enough to make a spike. We're also going to have a volume issue here. When there's no volume, there's no data to plot. I'll keep working on it, see if I can get it down to a minimal volume, but I don't know if I can. I'll sure give it a try. About 30 seconds to go. Make sure you're on EXT on your TIF, time and force. Good morning, Kyle, Broke Joe, Miller Time. About 5 seconds, good luck. Don't be chasing green candles, let's wait on pullbacks. You can see right away the volume spike put us right on one. Only moving pennies, though. Nothing to get really excited about. 203 to 205 to 207. Made its way to the top. It's got the highest score, or did have. Now it's jumping around. You're welcome, Robert Pro. Maybe it'll collect enough data on this stock if it keeps moving enough to start plotting. Nice bump up there for a nickel. Would have been hard to catch that one. Good morning, John F. Is on the rise. Doesn't really know where it wants to go. SPY is up a bit. If you're new here, I'll do a walkthrough about 6:30. So from 204 to 218, about 14 cents for all that work. Good morning, Lynn Moore. Glad you guys can make it this morning. See if we can get a pullback here, something better than this one. I'll be marking the low of this red candle once it closes. I've already marked the high of the body of the previous candle. Won't be much money in there, probably 6 cents if it bounces back up to resistance. It did close here. Let's see if we get a bounce up back to this level here. Right on back up there. Isn't that pullback strategy just a wonderful thing? Got to be kind of quick for it, but it works almost every time. Look at that run up. So if you're new here, you watch me mark out these resistance and these support levels, and our entry is always going to be on a support level. I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell, but this is always our entry level, the support. You need to learn how to mark out these resistance and support lines. They really help out on pullback strategies. We do this over and over again each morning. I don't know if we missed any. I don't think we missed any in several months. I'll just say we missed one or two, but I don't even think we missed those. Good morning, Namin, Rad Dad, Lesmon. From 208 to 220, that's a 12 cent. Maybe 13 if you got lucky. Good morning, Who Loves Lunatic? Good morning, Options Trader. Good morning, Flo. Y'all just missed one if you're just getting here. Got to be here a few minutes before 6. It usually happens between 6 and 6:10. B. Richardson, that's a question for support. These are training sessions here for trading and watching indicators. Over in Discord, leave me a question over in support. If I can't get to you, somebody will. Good morning, Dippy. Good morning, Skywalker. Malik. Lesmon, you just missed the perfect explanation right here. You got to be here in time. You could have watched me mark it out live. It would have told you exactly what to do. Good morning, Andy S. Tim. You come here in the morning and watch these charts with us. This is our pre-market scan. You'll find it over in TOS Scans on Discord. And we add these two indicators. Actually, it's 4 indicators. This one up here, this one down here, and these two. And every morning we wait for spikes to occur. Once they happen, you'll see me mark out these resistance and support levels. The support level is always going to be your entry. I wouldn't call this one an entry. This is after the fact that the stock's already shot up. This is the backside of the trade. Will it do this same thing? It's doubtful, but it could. But not likely. Malik, after pre-market, I watch the RG 50-minute scan. During pre-market, we always watch the pre-market scan and all stocks. Pre-market is always the pre-market scan and the all stock scan. And when the market's fixing to open, we switch over to the 50-minute momentum scanner. And then whatever I decide to put down here. So right out of the gate this morning, about 6:05, we had this play for 20 cents, 18, 15, wherever you got in from. B. Richardson I am using, but it has to compile data before it kicks in. You can now see it kicked in. So it took this much data to get it to start calculating correctly. Now we can see the buyers had taken over right where it says. The sellers, I mean. Now the buyers are down here. You have to have lots of data for this to work. So on the higher price stocks that have continuous volume, this thing will function properly. Pre-market, they don't have any volume until news comes out or until people start trading it. So this may not be so efficient with pre-market, but it'll definitely be good when the market opens and there's a lot of data flowing by. I'll continue to work on it, see if I can't get it to work for pre-market. I may have to manipulate the script a little. But I think we do just fine in pre-market with this pre-market scanner and this pullback strategy. So now you can see the volume has stopped on this stock, just barely moving. We could even lose these lines and go back to a blank space if the volume dies. Watching this volume spike column for number 2. See, I have high hopes. I'm already calling out number 2. Dusty, I agree. I love high flyers. I trade it often as well. It's one of the stocks that's always running on my system. Not necessarily in pre-market, but during market open. Richardson, if you're not set up yet, all the files in Discord, this is the current setup on Discord. You go to current setup, there are 4 steps to load this setup. Once you get it done, it just resides on the computer and you trade off of it all day long. Or you may even just elect to get parts of this and apply it to your strategy that you've been trading to see if it improves your strategy. I prefer to just use it all and get it working and make some money, get it over with. I very seldom trade them. I kind of like the $5 to $50 range. But I do on occasion trade them. In pre-market, usually the cheaper stocks are the ones moving around, but every now and then we'll catch Amazon and Microsoft and all the other companies will pop in here if they're having a good day. It's not programmed just for penny stocks. It's programmed for anything that moves. Something jumping around here. Let's see what it is. INAB. So every morning we don't go looking for stocks. We come here, load this system up, and we wait for the stocks to pop in. We watch for volume spikes. They'll come to us. We don't have to go to them. And we play them as they happen. GN now moving. Good call, Andy. Wasn't up on my chart, so on my watch list. It just popped in. So keep in mind, we don't all refresh together. These scans refresh every 5 minutes. Yours may refresh before mine. That's why it's very important for you to be set up the same way. You may get a stock because your scan refreshes before mine, before I actually get it. So you may have the opportunity to get in sooner than when it's posted on the live stream. If we all refresh together, everybody would have the same stocks, but it doesn't work that way. This could be a penny stock pullback. They're kind of hard to do on penny stocks. They're so volatile, you never know which direction they're going to go. Need that red candle to pull back, and it didn't. That's what I'm talking about. They're volatile, they're hard to mark out. Tall candle wicks for sellers, and then we get a big green candle behind it. It's still pushing. You did get that 100%. Well, almost. Couple pennies more. Boonsky, you can't really call volume in pre-market because they don't usually have any volume. As you can see here, this stock was pretty much flat. It may have been ticking a little bit of volume, but they're not going to pop up here until the buyers come in. So we go from zero volume to watching this indicator right here. We want to see these numbers really flying. And we want to see this crossover. I'll do an explanation of that at 6:30. But there's no pre-market volume in most cases. Some of them do have a little. But we can go from zero volume to millions of shares traded, and we'll find them really quick with this volume spike indicator. Nice run on this stock. According to the mark percent change, it's already up 150%. That was before our market opened, more than likely. This one's all on you. We're not getting a pullback. Do you chase the green candles? I don't. Would it have been worth it? Probably, but the risk was high. Seeing all these tall wicks on the top, them are all sellers trying to take profit or drive it back down. Looks like it might give its first pullback, but will it be a pullback or is it over? That's what we don't know. I'm going to move on here to this next one I see moving. Another cheap penny stock. Very little volume. Always watch this volume bar. You don't want to get into something you can't get out of or something that doesn't move. This current volume bar label right here, this green one, is this candle. There's not much happening in it. It's only moving up because there's no volume and somebody decided to buy it. That will move the stock price. Volume is increasing. The last candle was 49,000. Well, it changed on me as I was trying to measure it. They are coming in now. So I caught it about in here, not much room for profit. That's only 2 or 3 pennies. Even if it was all the way up to here, that's only 3 pennies. Ozzy, you go into Discord and there's a channel called Current Setup. Follow steps 1 through 4. And you'll get the setup on these two here. Then you come here every morning and learn how to use them. Good morning, Danish. So have some coffee, kick back, relax. No sense in getting all shaken up over this trading. We just wait on them to happen. And I'll mark out the support and resistance level, and you make your decision if you want in or not. This one's pretty radical. It don't know where it wants to go. Those 2 or 3 pennies are up and down. Mike, my sweet spot is that number's rapidly rising. Right here, you keep an eye on this one section and watch that volume. Faster it's rising, the better chance you have of getting in and getting out without an issue. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, David. Just like that, we lose all of it. That's why I don't play penny stocks. Pump and dump. And OGN trying to make a bounce back up. I'll go ahead and mark resistance up here at the top of the body of that candle. I'll mark it down here where it pulled back to. We're a little late on it. It did not spike over here, so I wasn't aware of it until we got a little spike. But the bounce play would have been from here to here, but with this many red candles behind it, it's pretty much they're pulling out of it. So we may not get that bounce back up. It may come back right on down and retest that support level again. Thank you, Ozzy. So you can see here we didn't have enough data to make this indicator kick in, but then we started getting the data here. I think during the day when the market's open, or if we can get a pre-market stock that's been trading up and down for a while, you'll be able to monitor it right here. So if you think about it, if you used to have the green and red bars that go up and down right here, you really couldn't tell by that either what was happening. And imagine those green and red bars being in a line format from that volume bars. That's basically what you're looking at. Instead of bars, you're looking at lines. Just a different way to break volume down. If you're new here, I am Ricky Gaspard. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I've been trading since 1990. I'm also a ThinkScript coder. I've probably been coding for about 15 years. I'm going to say it's going on that probably time period. Of course, I didn't know much the first 5 years. It takes forever to learn. In these last couple of years, I really attacked the volume profile on all these stocks and broke it down into different types of indicators. This one being the volume spike was the first one that I created about probably 4 months ago, 5 months ago. So I took the volume and broke it down as far as selling and buying. So when the price was going up and the volume was positive, we called it bullish. And when the price was going down and the volume was kicking, we called it bearish. So now it's determining if it's going up or down and how strong it is by a percentage. Then I created this one over here, the momentum scanner. This one's looking back 30 minutes for any stock that has moved over the last 30 minutes. If it's moved, it gives it a score. The less it's moved, the lower the number. The more it's moved, the higher the number, as indicated here by NOGN. So we wait for stocks to pop in on the volume spike. They already have a score. Once we see one spiking, we come over here and we verify that we have a crossover of these two moving averages. This is the 5 EMA and the 13 EMA. Once we confirm the crossover, we look down here and make sure we have enough volume to get in and get out of this stock safely for scalping. The price will move above the 5 EMA. You'll see these arrows pop in on the bottom, letting you know this stock is rising. These arrows are also volume spikes, letting you know the buyers are here and driving it up. We also monitor this first candle. Right up here, you can see that candle's bearish. When it's coming up, though, it's going to be a green label and say bullish. Down here, I broke down the volume, the overall volume of the stock in these two indicators. So in the overall volume, it's buyers is dominating now, but now sellers. It's bouncing back and forth. And then I broke this down even further over the weekend, and well, I did it last week. But I broke this down into a line format because you couldn't remember how many buyers there was or how many sellers there was at the time all of this activity was happening. So I broke it down as a line so you could see the buyers coming in. You can see the sellers chasing the buyers. And eventually they took over and drove it back down. The buyers started declining. The sellers started declining. Then the buyers stepped in a little bit right here on this little rise and drove it back up to here. Then the sellers took over and pulled it right back down. So you have to watch this and watch the stock charts. Learn how this indicator works, what it's doing. I think it's going to benefit you greatly once you get the hang of it. So if you don't have this set up, it's over on our Discord channel. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. I'll post the link in the chat. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like the videos, comment on the videos. Let YouTube know what kind of a job I'm doing. It also lets me know that you like what I'm doing. In the description of every video is a link to our Discord. Subscribe to our Discord. Accept the disclaimer so you can see the channels. If you don't know how to install scripts and indicators, head over to the how-to videos and watch video number 8. It'll walk you through getting all of this set up. If you still have trouble after watching the video, you can leave me a message over in support, and if I can't help you, somebody will. You'll find these indicators in current setup. So all of my recent work is going to be in current setup. Steps 1 through 4. Step 1 will load this upper section. You'll get all this buy and sell and spread and bullish and bearish. You'll get these lines and arrows. Step 2 will give you this volume label down here. Step 3 will give you this volume spike, and step 4 will give you this momentum scan. I'll go ahead and include this one as step 5 on the current setup. I haven't done that yet. Never trade off of my screen. My screen can be delayed. Make sure you set your own computer up. I've seen over 5 minutes delay, and I've actually seen the delay so bad we couldn't hold the live stream. So make sure you set this up on your own computer. Don't trade off of my screen. I appreciate you joining us this morning as we wait on the next stock to take off. And hopefully we'll get one. Enjoy your coffee while we wait. Let me post a link to our Discord so you don't have to go chase it down in the description of a video. So if you don't belong to our Discord, here's the link. We'd love to have you on board. Come join us. Then click this momentum, click this name until they're sorted to the top. ALZN, you can see it's on your scans, but it's not on mine, but that doesn't mean my scripts are messed up. It means that you refreshed before I did. That could be a pullback. I'll mark it out. There's the high. There's the low. Looks like it's dropped down below the low, so it's running into resistance. There it goes. It's going to bounce right on back up there. Works every time. I was a little late on it because I didn't have it on my scan. So thank y'all for calling it out. So when you see a stock run up, mark the high of this body once it starts pulling back, but don't mark it until this candle starts coming down. So you'll be marking the body high. And then when this candle stops running down and it closes, then you mark the low and you wait for the bounce back up. So your entry is right here. Close as you can get to it, the more money you'll make. Good morning, Ruth. Very nice. Reason we're so successful with this pullback strategy is we get to know the first run of the stock, and thankful to this volume spike. We see the spike, we get the first run of it. Then I'll mark the body and there'll be some profit takers, and then other people find it. Of course, they're a little bit late, but they still jump in hoping for another run up, and that's where we take our profits. Good job, Dusty. Good job, Dana. Ruth, I had a pretty good weekend. It was a busy Sunday. Had to get everything done, get the video out, get the new indicator out there. And once I do that, then I have about 200 or 300 comments I need to respond to. So pretty busy when I launch something. Super, how'd you say to do it? Refresh my memory, because I have 3 dots, but I don't have anything that says remove it or clear it up. It doesn't let me click on the heart. When I touch the heart, it gives me 5 more choices if I want to change it to a snow cone or a smiley face or something like that. Video, edit, customization, uncheck live reactions. I don't think I'm going to have those settings. So I'm going to my videos. Close. Going to live. Going to the settings on this live stream. Looking down through the settings, show more. I don't see unchecked live reactions anywhere. And I've been in this same directory many times. So I'm not seeing it. Right click on the emoticon bar, inspect. Left click second. And all I have is pin message, report, remove. Oh, I see a remove. I removed David's message. I'm sorry about that, David. I was on the emoticon icon and I did do the inspect, and when I'm still looking here. I'm also watching the spikes up there. Second division below. Well, this is a little bit over my head this morning. Don't have time to figure all that out while we're doing a session. I'll try to figure it out later. Okay, super. We get in a dead spot, I'll take a look at it. Don't know if I can play it and hear it without it streaming live. That doesn't look like a permanent fix, though, if I go into the code and delete it. Each time I start a new video, I'm going to have to go do another 3 or 4 steps to get it out of there if you're deleting the code. Good morning, Perseverance. Good morning, Jim. And do you learn to sell by coming here every morning and watching? I can't tell you when to sell. I can't tell you when to buy. That's not my responsibility. I can tell you where your entries and your exits are by just guessing at the exit, but you want to get as much money as you can. I will tell you this is your entry level here. But it's going to be up to you to watch these charts every morning and decide if it's going to turn around, you need to get out. I really don't teach trading here. It kind of looks like I do, but I actually teach indicators and tell you where the entries are, what the indicators do. It's up to you to make the buy and the sell decision. And you learn that by coming here. Our next opportunity for a stock to pop up is going to be around 7 o'clock. That's usually when news comes out. Hopefully another stock will get some news and we'll see another setup occur. If it does, we'll know immediately right here in this column. Good morning, Shoki. Good morning, Daryl, Jim. Good morning, Jimmy. So far, one good play was a cheaper penny stock. I didn't play it, but it was about a 20-cent gain. This one didn't pop up on my scanner till too late. It was not a play for me. It could have been for one of you. Good morning, Stonks. Not too bad a start for a Monday morning. At least we got one, right? Hopefully we'll get another. Good morning, Island Man. Brian Z, I'm here 5 days a week, providing we don't have any issues. Sometimes we have streaming issues through YouTube. But yes, I try to be here 5 days a week, 6 a.m. till 9:30 Central Standard Time. We sit here all together, have coffee in the morning or lunch or dinner or whatever it is in your time zone, and we trade stocks. We wait for them to pop up right here in this column. If they're going to move, we're going to be the first to know. Welcome, Danelle. Glad you could join us. Come have some fun every morning. Good morning, GMAC. Brian Z, thank you for joining us. If you haven't hit the like button on this stream, please do so. That's the only way I make a few pennies. Let YouTube know what I'm doing over here is good. Everything is free. Do me a favor, hit that like button. You're not going to find anything like this on YouTube and as far as investing for free. I'm paying it forward. I'm helping everybody make money. It's been a tough 3 years. I was still doing fairly well, so I started creating indicators. This is basically how I used to trade in my mind, and I put them in an indicator. Good morning, Chad. And now you get to use them. Get a place to hang out every trading morning. We do make money here. Sometimes we lose money when I'm stupid and make the wrong play. That's usually not on you, though. That's something I do outside of the stream. When you don't follow your own rules, you lose. Stick to the strategy, Mr. Gaspard, and that won't happen. So once you perfect what's going on here, you get this loaded on your computer, you perfect it, you've traded it, you know what's going to happen, you know to expect pullbacks, you know how to mark out these support and resistance levels because you watch me do it over and over again. You should be having some pretty good success trading in the market. We're not guessing. We're actually watching the play set up. Once it sets up, we pull the trigger. Jimmy, I know the feeling. That support level is still valid because once it breaks down through it, it becomes resistance because now it's got to try to break back through it. And these lines, they'll be good for weeks. If you go back and look at this level here, I'm sure it touched somewhere way back here. Same thing with this one. You don't know how to mark out these resistance levels. I do have a video on it, how to get it on your mouse in how-to videos. Then you come here in the morning and you watch what I do. I will mark you. I'll teach you how to mark them out. Then the magic happens. Good morning, Scott. So on the bottom side of these lines, it's resistance if the price is below it. It would be resistance here as well if the price was up here trying to get through it. So once it breaks through this lower resistance line, it then becomes support on the top side of that line. If the stock price pulls back and it cannot get back through it, it becomes support and the stock will run up to the next resistance level. If it breaks through this resistance level and comes back down and retests it, it becomes support and it may run up and create a new level. This is what you'll learn by participating in these live streams. You'll watch me do it over and over and over. And you'll watch it be profitable over and over. Very seldom does it fail. Good morning, Howard. You must have slid by me there. We're at that 7 o'clock. I'm waiting to see if we get something to pop up here. I'm not seeing much activity other than this. These buyers are coming in after 7. So this is resistance. You see it's resisting getting through there. Pulling back down. It could not break the resistance level. Brian, they are not pivot points. Let's get a couple minutes past 7 o'clock. Make sure nothing's going to happen here, and I'll walk you through getting them on your mouse real quick. It's not hard. Good morning, Imputed. $7.02, NEPT on the move. Thank you for calling that out, Michael. So I'm not a green candle chaser. You may be, but it's a very high risk play because it could just drop all of a sudden. So we wait on the pullback. I'm going to wait till this price tops out. And I'm going to set that line right at the body. I'm waiting on a red candle for a pullback so I can mark the previous candle. Need it to pull back more than that. I'd like to see it come back down to the bottom of this candle. So right here, you were first to know. Now, other people are going to find this eventually. I'll go ahead and mark it. Need it to pull back more. It may not pull back as far as I want it to. Hopefully it will. And then it'll run right back up to here and probably break through. It did close right there, and now it's probably going to run right up. There we go. Running on up just like I said. So we were first to know, then we took a little profit, then other people found it because they don't have these indicators. Then once they find it, they say, oh, look, that one's moving, let's buy it, and that's where we make our profits. Dana, that happens. That makes me mad when that happens. So you see me do this twice in a row so far, both of them winners. That's not fair, is it? I don't think it's fair. Guess you call that selective buying. They only want those who they want to buy it. So we didn't get much out of it from $1.32 to $1. Well, I guess we did. We got about 28 cents. Probably couldn't have got it all, but if you got 20 cents, you did really good. You can see we had the crossover. You can see the white arrows coming that came in. We don't have enough data for that new indicator to work. That's going to bug me. I'm going to have to figure that out. But it might not be solvable. Just maybe lack of data. Good morning. Definitely pulling back now. Could I get you to mute your mic, please? I'll be glad to talk with you after this live stream if you just send me a direct message. Jim, that's a good question. We do wait on that candle to turn green, but there's chances that it may not. So waiting on it is a good possibility, but also waiting on it, you're going to lose a few pennies. But it's always good to wait for confirmation of this green candle before you just click the button. But if you're here often enough and you see how many times this works, it's pretty much click the button. I mean, you're going to miss one every now and then, but I'm thinking you're going to get 8 out of 10, maybe more, maybe 9 out of 10. The odds of success are very high. So while we're quiet, in order to get these lines on your chart, you see my mouse is a pencil. So you're going to click on your drawing tools. You're going to go to drawing tools, and this second one with the $sign and the underscore, you click on it, and it puts the drawing tool, the line tool, on your chart. I'll delete that one line. And once you get the line on your chart, your line's going to be solid. If you want to change it, right click on the line, go to properties. And down here towards the bottom, you can choose your line style. Mine is on this one. You can choose the width of it and the color. Once you get this set up, save it as default and then click OK. And when you click on your chart, you should have a dotted line like this. I try to keep the color light so it doesn't interfere. Of course, I have vision issues. I make all kind of adjustments. But that's how you get them on your chart. And then you come here and you learn in the morning how to place these lines. It has nothing to do with a tick chart. And tick charts don't work on volume, so no, it's not going to work with a tick chart. A tick chart is orders, not volume. So you're not going to get V4 or V6 or hardly any indicator to work on a tick chart, but you can put the moving averages on there manually, the 5 and the 13, and you can play the crossovers on a tick chart with these moving averages. Good morning, Jim. Jim, if you're jumping in on a green candle, that's going to happen to you almost all the time. Well, you always wait on a pullback to get in. You should buy on red candles or the first green after the pullback, and you'll avoid clicking here and then seeing it pull back. You have to have a strategy. You have to learn the pullback strategy. You notice we didn't play this stock until we got a red candle, and we marked the bottom of that red candle and it shot up for us. You have to have a system set up. I've set a system up for you. You just need to apply it to your computer. Then come here and watch every morning what I do. It's not easy to do this if you don't know what you're doing. I may make it look simple, but it's not simple. You have to know price action. You have to know support and resistance levels. You have to know how each one of these indicators work. And everything ties in together for a good play. If you're just popping that buy button because you see a green candle, you're going to lose more than you win. Settle for the small amounts. Just buy more shares. Jump in there, grab it while it's rising, and get out. I don't care if you earn $5. You may earn $500. You could earn $1,000. One morning we were earning $6,000 and $20,000. But you have to let the play set up. And yes, you heard me right, $6,000 and $20,000. We had a stock go from $3.75 all the way up to $60 with no halts. We've had them go from $4 to $17. And my highest win would be over the last 33 years. I've had several good wins. I'm thinking maybe 15,000 would be an average high. It doesn't happen often. Most of the time it's grabbing 200, 300, 500. That's going to be my average. I think most of us were in shock, Bob. I didn't buy it till it continued to run and tempted me, and I clicked the mouse. Luckily, I got my profit out of it. I know crunching the market, he got about 20 grand out of it. Good information, Broke Joe and Bob Peterson. Jim, it is hard, but we're in that kind of a market. It's nothing to do with how you're trading. We just don't have the opportunity. Some mornings we come here, we don't even get a trade. Some mornings we get one. Some mornings we'll get 3 or 4. We're having to play with the market conditions that we currently have. Never push a play. You're not going to force one to happen. It doesn't work that way. And I'm right there with you, Jim. Sometimes I only get 3 or 4 trades a week. I don't trade a whole bunch, in all honesty. That's because I wait on the perfect setup. Like, I'm not worried about 5 or 10 cents where the next guy may like 5 or 10 cents. I try to trade the higher price stocks, $5 and up to 50, so I can get 75 cents, $1.50, $2 moves. And when they set up perfectly, I'll buy enough shares to make up for the days I did not trade. I'm not seeing MNOV. I'll type it in. It is moving. Cheaper stock. So this would be your pullback if I can get it. There's one there. Now we're waiting on this candle to close. If it runs up from here, it will not be a pullback. It would be chasing green candles. Look right here where this volume's not moving. There's not a whole lot of volume in this stock. This relates back to where I said they have no volume, and then all of a sudden they have volume. So this stock I would not play personally, but it may be somebody else's play if they know how to play it. I'm a pullback player, so I wait on pullbacks. I know those are guaranteed. I know chasing green candles is not. This one's all over the place, and it's only a few pennies between the numbers. 214, 216. Is it worth throwing thousands of dollars at? Not in my opinion. I see BRSH right here. I didn't click it because it's red. It could be a pullback. Let's see. So So that was a green candle here. I marked the top of it. It looks like it's going to continue on down, but I would have marked the bottom of that red candle right there. It's only pennies. Very hard to play these kind of stocks. You could jump up a nickel and drop a dime before you know it. Looks like all penny stocks moving this morning. This is the backside of the run. I would not play this stock. The money was over here. This is the backside. That's also the backside. You're welcome, Ovispo. Lots of cheap stocks in the list. $1 and less. Here's a $20 one, but it's not moving. $6 one, not moving. The rest are just penny poppers. Good morning, Raphael. So we did finally gather enough data on this stock. So I'm pretty much going to say this is probably not a pre-market indicator, but it's going to be a real good market open indicator. And like I said, I'll work on it, but I'm thinking we have it where it needs to be. Because if it's compiling data back here before it starts plotting, it's going to be a lot more accurate. Good morning, OT. No volume on this one. Going to start slowing down. The closer we get to 8 o'clock, the deader it will become. If it's your first time here, I take a 10-minute break at 8 o'clock. And when I get back about 8:25, we set up for market open. Might as well get up, stretch your legs. We're in a dead zone. Nothing to talk about, nothing to work, nothing to watch. See, it's working on this one because it was able to compile data back here. Now it's going to continue to plot. As long as it has volume, it'll continue to plot. You can see the buyers trying to bring it up, but then the sellers take it over. Then the sellers gave up. I do short stocks on occasion. Shorting's not my specialty, but I do short them. You could actually play this in the reverse in short stocks. It works both directions. Just like here, you could have waited after the run up, came back down, broke through support, resisted, and went on down. You could have played a short. Still in that dead zone waiting for something to move. CUEN, that's a good example. Your scans refresh before mine. So we'll be waiting on a pullback. So if this is the pullback, we'll know. It should drop down about half of that big green candle. Sometimes they don't pull back that far before reversing. Volume looks pretty good. I'm watching this current candle bar. Okay, that candle close, that's not much of a pullback whatsoever. I'll go ahead and mark it, but it's not looking too healthy. I'm going to go ahead and remove this line and mark this next candle. Maybe we're in a two-step here. Let this candle close. And it did. This is where the bounce would come. Right on back up there. And again, this was your entry right back down here. So you see how we marked the top. I wasn't comfortable with the length of the pullback. I did originally mark it, but then I saw another red candle and I removed this one and marked the bottom of that one. And that's when the bounce occurred. It didn't hold it. Was not a good play, but it did happen. I kind of didn't like this play when we didn't get the full pullback on the first candle. I had my doubts on it. I actually didn't even think it was going to bounce up as high as it did. I like to see it happen on this first candle. That's the best bounce you're going to get. Two is okay. It worked out. But I'd rather see that first red candle pull back. CDIO. Well, it didn't tight. So you had a pullback here, but not really. The body didn't close down low. So we're going to have to wait on one up here. Since it's a cheaper stock, will we even get one? It's going to be hard to predict. Nice run up. You guys caught it earlier than I did. Well, I wouldn't have bought it here. Down here, you would have had to been quick. I'm waiting on it to pull back. I'm waiting on this candle to close and get a red one. Some people like to chase them. I'm not a chaser, so we'll see where it goes. I like guaranteed profits, not guessing profits. And some of them don't pull back, they just keep running. We've had that happen as well. Good morning, Cody. Is this going to be the pullback? We'll see. Or does it just die? Go ahead and mark it. I'd like to see it pull back to the bottom of this candle, and it did. We need the candle to close down here. It did not close down there, but it could run up. This could become resistance. It may not have any more in it. Kind of responding like it did down here. See if it comes down and tests this level once more. I'm going to go ahead and mark it just to see where we go. So you're not going to have an entry down here. I would wait. It's not responding like it should. It may not have any more in it. Going back down to retest that 124 again. I think I would stay clear. This is my personal opinion. Guess that personal opinion works. Is this going to be another one where it loses everything it gains? Maybe. Well, if we had that data down here, we would know. That's going to bug me. I guess you know that. Maybe I need a different approach. It is finally plotting down here. It is on current day's volume. I don't know, Robert. Jim, you'll have to test it and see how. You can play these pullbacks on almost any time frame. I don't know how this is going to respond on a 5-minute or a 3-minute or a 2-minute. I haven't tested it there. I have tested it on the 1 minute only, but I'm sure it's volume related. It should work on any time frame. That's the reason I did not test it on the higher time frames. I don't think it's going to work in pre-market on the higher time frames, but it might. So every time I put out a new indicator, don't just go pulling the trigger on it. You also need to test it. Don't take my word for it. I'll show it working in a video, but you still have to know how it's working. Test it first for a week or two. Get real comfortable with it and then apply it to your strategy. Thank you, Robert. Just because I test them doesn't mean that you don't have to. Just remember that. You can see them buyers up here and them sellers way down here. I'm basically still learning it myself. I know it works. Now I got to see how to apply it where it benefits me. So if you still had the bar volume, this is probably a green bar on the volume that goes vertically. Only reason this stock is rising when this indicator was pointing down is because they have no sellers. Now you see the the sellers trying to come alive. These are probably just profit takers. They got that bounce to the next level. I don't usually play the backside of a run like this. And sometimes I miss a little bit of profit by not doing so, but it usually doesn't work out. Usually creates a lower high before pulling back down. Rad Dad, I probably can. I'll look into it when I get time. But always send me a direct message in Discord. I stay so busy, sometimes I forget that I promised something and don't do it. But if you send me a direct message, I will always reread it. This is what I'm talking about. It created a lower high, and then it's turning around. If I don't play the backside of a run, Ozzy, maybe you didn't have it on your chart long enough for it to compile data. I don't think it starts compiling unless you are on the stock. So maybe you just got into this stock. Maybe you just brought it up on your chart, and I'm assuming here, okay? Maybe you just brought it here and you haven't had this past data. Well, NVIDIA has a lot more volume than these penny stocks do. See, tick bars are not volume, they're orders. So no, I can't. Tick charts have no volume. So when you set it at 133, that's 133 orders before you get the next candle. That's what that counter is on the bottom right corner. It's counting how many orders go through. If you have it set to 133, once that number hits 133, you'll get a new candle. Steve, I'll post a link down here in the bottom for you. That's our Discord. IOVA. So this is a good example where I said we could have a blank space after the lines. You can see the volume just flat died. So it ran out of data to compile. Now it's got to build up again. Don't think it's going to be too efficient in pre-market. Unless it's heavily traded in pre-market, then it'll do us some good. If you haven't hit the like button on this stream, please do so. Help me get YouTube to promote it more. The more likes the video stream has, the more YouTube will push it out there. So do me a favor and hit the like button. Thank you very much. Let's keep this free stuff going, but if I don't get any support, I can't keep it going. Keep that in mind. Can't do this kind of stuff for free. It is out of pocket for me. We had quite a few Patreon members join over the weekend. I thank you very much for your donations. You'll find a Patreon link over on Discord if you feel the need that I've done you some good. Have several levels. I had people complaining you're not charging enough. I want to pay more. So I put different levels. You choose the price range you're willing to donate to help us keep the channel going. It's not mandatory, keep that in mind, but every little bit helps us. About 4 more minutes. I'm going to take a 10-minute break. We are getting in that quiet zone. Actually, we've been in it for about 25 minutes. Sometimes when I leave, you'll get a runner. If you do, mark your support and resistance level and take a shot at it. So if you did get the line on your mouse like I had, in order to get back to your mouse, you're going to have to go back to your drawing tools and select the mouse right here. I just leave it on there all day long. I have no desire, unless I'm coding or something and I'm trying to switch back from charting and coding, then I'll go back to the mouse. Thank you very much for that comment. Mr. Raman. I really enjoy doing this for everyone. It gives me great satisfaction that I know I'm helping other people. I think everybody should reach out and share information. It only makes the world a better place. Ken, if you go to how-to videos, I have multiple monitor video on there. It's in how-to videos. It's very easy to do. Every window has a detach right here, right there. You detach that window, resize it, drag it around where you want to drag it. So I just detached several Market Watch tabs. That allows me to come in and change to any scan that I want on each one of them. I can just change the scan. CDIO, I'm looking. Stephen, when you sign up to Discord, accept the disclaimer. The channels will pop in on the left. Go to how-to videos and watch video number 8. There's a brief description about Discord and how to install these scripts. Just watch the whole video. You'll see me pointing over on Discord where the files are located, etc., and how to install them. So while y'all watch CDIO, I would wait on a pullback. I wouldn't chase the green candles. I'm going to take a 10-minute break. Get out of that chair, stretch your legs. I'll be back in 10 minutes. All right, I am back. All right, when I left, this stock was moving up a little bit right here. How many of you played the pullback down to this level and got in? Could have easily played it. Could have marked it out. Watch for the pullback. That was already here. And played the run up. Of course, you might have taken a break like I did. And every time I take a break, one goes up. I hear you, diet soda. Mentally works. That means you're training the brain. Good morning, Vaughn. I'm seeing a warning on YouTube. Did y'all have a delay or anything? I'm seeing where we lost connection and connected back. Good job, Warlock. Just remember, you're not chasing these green ones. You're chasing these red ones back down a little bit to another level. Never chase the green ones. Chase the red ones down and then buy in. Where a lot of people mess up is they say, oh, it's running, and they click the mouse, and the next thing you know, it's on its way down. Thank you, Warlock, for that information. I have great success with it. I'm sure many of these subscribers do as well, or you wouldn't be here every morning, right? We've been doing really good for such a crappy market. Of course, it's getting a little bit better. I'm hoping we're going to get a rally before the end of the year. That would be nice. Thank you, Warlock. Best thing about what we do over here is we really dissect a stock, candle by candle action. It really helps you to understand price action when you do it that way. It's all about volume and price action. We watch the action and wait for it to pull back and see if we get an entry. Robert, I'm going to stay clear of that comment you just made. I don't want to create another war in the chat. I don't know how to keep my mouth shut when we start talking about what's going on, so I'll just can it right here. Todd, I don't chase green candles. We strictly play pullbacks like you see here. We don't chase this. We wait for an opportunity to get in. You'll see me do it every morning. Every morning we have a stock play, that is. And it works every time, just about. Not to brag or nothing. It's common sense what we're doing. Thank you, Ron Miller. So would I play this? No, I wouldn't, because it's been selling off for 5 or 7 candles. GDC's on the 50-minute scanner. Volume's not too promising. So here's where we would wait on a pullback. We wouldn't chase these green candles. There was a minor pullback here, but it lost it and rose up more. So we haven't had a true pullback yet. May get one here, though. I'm going to mark the top of that candle. I always mark the bodies, not the wicks. We really needed to pull back into this area down here. Not liking the low volume. It stopped ticking totally for a few seconds. So it's at where my mouse was. Let's see if that candle closes. It did not. It did go down there and test it, though. Coming back down to try again. Still did not make it. It's trying. I don't know if I would trust this one. It looks pretty radical. It don't know where it wants to go. I actually had a gap here between these two. Then they pulled it up and dropped it. Not my favorite play right here. Brian, that was an indicator we released over the weekend. You can find the newest video on the YouTube site and watch it. You guys watch that video, you'll know why we don't have lines. And it's lack of data. We're in pre-market. There's not solid volume running. But watch the entirety of that video and you won't have any questions about it. Always the body of the candles. That's why I said I didn't like this one. It's pretty much dormant now. Wouldn't chase it, not at all. That's when they run every time I say something like that. This is a gamble. We had no idea what was going to happen here. If you're just now showing up, please hit the like button on this stream. Let YouTube know that we're doing something good over here. Helps me keep my ratings up while you get to absorb all the free information, all the free indicators. Do me a favor, like the video. It's not going to cost you nothing. Let's keep the free stuff rolling. I use tick charts all the time. I use them for my entries and my exits. I think they're beneficial to trading, especially if you're day trading. Not seeing HOLO. I think my scans are running behind your scans today. I'll type it in, see what is happening. HOLO. Volume is dead on it. Like a lot more volume than when it just runs up and stops. Thank you, Mike B, for your help. It's greatly appreciated. Good morning, Martin. Brave, you don't refresh them, they auto refresh through the Discord servers. I mean, you can go to your scan tab and refresh it, but I think ThinkorSwim even limits the amount of times you can do that as well. Lorenja, click the $ below where you type in the chat, then select Super Chat. You're welcome. Let's go ahead and change our scans over. I'm going to move the 50-minute up here, if I can find it. Well. Right there. I'm going to leave this one on. Let's see what I want to put down here. I think I want high flyers down here this morning. Over here, we'll put the gap and run. So if you're not familiar with this scan puts all of the moving averages stacked in the proper order. So the 5 above the 15, the 15 above the 34, or the 5 above the 13, sorry about that, and the 13 above the 34. And the price is usually above the 5 when the stock pops up here on high flyers. This gap and run scan, it'll only work when the market opens, and it's going to be all the stocks that opened up higher than last Friday's close. So stacked moving averages, gapped up higher than last Friday's close. Now we've changed. In pre-market, we were looking back 30 minutes. Now we're looking back 50 minutes. For any stock that's moving over the last 50 minutes. If you've never been here for market open, this column is going to get very volatile. You won't know heads for tails or what's happening. It's going to be a guessing game, but don't chase the green candles. We're going to monitor these top 3 or 4. If we see one really spiking high numbers, we're going to click on it and we're going to watch it running up. And you'll see me mark the support and resistance levels for a pullback. Sometimes it's so volatile, it's hard to do. I prefer trading 5 or 10 minutes after market open. So if I don't select the one that you like, you select it and play the pullbacks by marking the levels. So got about a minute to go. Good luck to everyone. If I see something worth trading and I go silent, that means I'm in a trade. But you'll probably know which one I'm trading if it's a good one, and I'll be marking the resistance and the support levels. I'll be watching for the stocks that are climbing up to the top here, and you'll see it indicated by these percentages, but it's going to be a mess, I promise you. Probably best to wait 5 or 10 minutes, let it calm down, and play the strong ones that are left over. About 30 seconds to go. And just so you know, the SPY is pulling down. I don't know what it's going to do at market open, but it's appearing to crash. If it does, it could affect how we trade this market open. Good luck to everyone. Let's get it. Let's see what happens. I'm watching up here for anything that's going to climb up. I see a high percentage, 35 on this one. But it's not climbing up, so it's kind of frozen. It's probably halted, actually. Oh, it's still trading, just low volume. It's only pennies, though, 228 to 230. That's only a 2-cent candle or 3 cent. See, GDC moved up here to the top of the list. We do have some history on it. We're watching the buyers and the sellers. Not seeing a pullback yet. Buyers are dominating the sellers here. I can see the sellers, but they may come in. Don't chance it. Let's wait on a pullback. We do have a level already set here. That means we traded it before. Buyers are dominating. Now the sellers came right back in. This is why you wait. Both up here about equal. I'm still watching over here as well, but it's red. Nothing's moving like this one. This one really dropped. You see the sellers took over here. Now we're at 407. This was a previous level. We could get a bounce here. Watch these indicators. Don't just buy this level. Watch this label. It needs to turn green. This label needs to turn green. We have the volume. Still kind of risky here. Have a long tail on the top of this candle. That's sellers. Make sure your EXT is on day while I'm thinking about it. I'm seeing the buyers coming in. You see this angle up and a little angle down. That does not mean it's going to bounce. Our moving averages are in the wrong setup. This white one should be above the blue one. We're not getting any spike arrows like these. The SPY is rising. Looks like that one's going to be a dud. I'm going to move on and check these other ones. That one is GDC. You may want to sit on it. It may bounce later. I don't know. Very low volume, only 17,000 on that last candle. Probably not worth watching. These are the stocks that gapped up higher. They opened higher than last Friday's close, so they gapped up higher. I probably should have been watching down here. We could get a pullback out of it. It is an $18 stock. Nice runs. Look at these percentages over here. These are looking good. Waiting on a pullback. That's what I'm waiting on. Not going to chase it. Could get a pullback here. Looks like this one's going to continue to go up. No pullback yet. Not seeing anything pegging the top of the watch list over here. So we'll watch the one that we have. There's that pullback that I was waiting on. I'd like to see it come down to about here. We need this red candle to close down here near the bottom where my line is. So it did come to here. Now we're at resistance because we're below it. Going right back up. Would have liked to seen a much stronger pullback on this one. No entry on it for me. If you did get in down here, it's not looking good. Still could break through though. At least if you bought down here, you're not in the hole. It just isn't performing like it should. Let's see what else we have moving here. We have VPF. Was a nice pullback at market open. Will we get another one? We'll see. This one could have easily been marked out. Problem is we can't play all of them at the same time, so we're having to watch one at a time. Still rising. Might not get a chance on this one. It's already had a pullback. We may go into the backside of a run. Still trying to gain a little. Eric, you have to have enough volume for it to work. If you watch the entire video, I explain that in the video. It has to have a history to work properly. You can see the stock on my chart. It didn't start plotting till here because it needed this data. If this stock would have been moving good back here, it would have already been plotting before market open. Yes, it bugs me too, and I'll try to figure it out, but I've had other coders look at it. It's not anything but lack of data. This one's still rising. You chase the green candles, you're in a profit. I don't chase them, but you can if you want to take the risk. You can see the buyers are way up here and the sellers are just laying back. I would have liked to have had better history on this stock, though. We'll have to try a different approach on this indicator. Maybe I can code it differently. I know the scans are working. We're finding the risers. Let's see, does that big pullback come here? I'd like to see it pull back to down in here somewhere. And I'd really love to see it do it in one candle. This one's got a lot of buying power in it. You can see it reflected down here. Hardly any sellers. Few profit takers every now and then. We are getting a pullback, I believe. This is where I'd like to see it stop. Need that candle to close. It did. We should get a bounce right back up to here. Got a spike arrow come in. We do have green. Well, we had green labels. Let's see what happens. Going back up. It does not, Stephen. Not looking good. I'm watching the volume dying off. The buyers down here. So we had a failure. Doesn't happen very often. Can't win all of them. I think all the buyers spent all their money back here. So when you're here trading with us, if we have a failure, get out immediately. Even if it runs up later, we just missed it. But cut the loss. Don't try to wait and wait. It may keep pulling down on you. And most of the time when you cover and get out of it and take a small loss, it's going to run up. Excuse me for that cough. It got out of hand. Good job, Gordon. $50-minute scan really firing up here. Low volume crawler here. Now we're starting to die off. See all the percentages disappearing. You can see how important this volume spike indicator is. It lets you know what's moving up or down in the market. Because we're watching 50 minutes back, it's got a good track record on them. I wish we could watch all of them and just click the ones as we look around the room and see which ones are going up, but I think we'd need about 30 monitors. That's why you need to set this up on your machine and you can start clicking through them. Find your winner. Click on the red ones too. They could just be pullbacks. It's probably the best way to do it is to click the red ones and look for pullbacks. So what we've been experiencing every day at market open is we'll see these run-ups and then they don't do anything else after 9 o'clock. They may trickle down or barely trickle up. It's like the volume dies. You can see the volume dying on this one slowly. It's been going on for a while. Really would love to see a bull market come in here where we could buy stocks all day long. That's the backside of a run. That VPF did make it back up there, but it pulled way down to here, so wouldn't have not have been a good play. But it did recover. It did run back up. Bon, I think they're all maybes at this time. To click some red ones, see if I can find some pullbacks. I don't want to chase the green ones. I don't know how much more green they have left to them. This is after the run. So I'm going to reach up here and sort it by volume spike. I'm going to click it until the numbers come up. That'll bring all the volume spikes up to the top. And the higher volume spikes will be up here. That's BABA moving. That's Intel moving. A couple mid-cap stocks popping up in here. Even on Intel, you can see the volume dying off. TAL could be a pullback. Not a good pullback. It's probably just dying out. You can see the volume has died off. We can't control this part. It's been doing this for quite some time. We're getting close to 9 o'clock. It'll probably die except for the stocks that are swinging slightly during the day. That's when I like to monitor this high flyers. I'll be watching this one column throughout the day until I get tired of watching. And that won't take long, probably 10:30. But if something jumps in this top column and it starts spiking, that's when you're going to make your move on this high flyer scan. These were the gap ups at open. Well, we're past open now. So this scan may die out. Change this one over to the price is passing the high of day. Let's see what happens there. We shorten this one up a little. So these are stocks that are breaking the high of day. Well, I don't see this one breaking the high a day. Every now and then we'll get a bad stock in the list. Not seeing any volume spikes though to drive them up. I'll sort it by volume spikes and see what we get at the top. It's only moving pennies, 1033, 1034, 1036. And all the volume spikes died. This is that 9 o'clock hour. Very hard picking this morning. Like, where do you go when they're crawling this long for only a nickel or a dime? Do you get in and sit on them? That's not day trading, in my opinion. No real price direction. We can tell it's trending up, but what's the next move, down or up? We don't know. Need something the buyers are really on, and it would be in this spike, and we don't have any spikes. Good job, Solo. I see even Mara, this is a good 30 minutes for 30 cents. I don't think I could hang on that long for 30 cents, especially with dips like this. Pre-market's been the play for several months now, 3 or 4 months. The money we've been making has been in pre-market. We're getting a volume spike at the current moment in multiple stocks. It'll probably just die out though. The SPY is up and slightly pulling back. NVIDIA on the move. Unless you play options, you probably can't afford to buy it. So we see this every morning for the last 3 or 4 months, 5 months, maybe last year. I don't remember how long. We get some runners in the morning, and if you don't chase green candles, you pretty much don't get a play if it's not right at the start that you get a pullback. Because then you end up with stocks that are creeping for 30 minutes for 10 or 20 cents. This is a good run, but it's not a day trading run. It's a buy and hold until you decide to get out. AMD now on the move. So we're having some mid-cap stocks here posting. Then we have the large cap NVIDIA. Verizon's in the list. PBB is in the list. Because the SPY is up, these higher priced stocks are going to also be up. Rodney, if you're still here, you join our Discord and go watch video number 8. I'll give you a link to the Discord. Where you find all of our files, all the traders. OPTX, kind of a big sell-off. Would need it to drop down no more than 1 or 2 candles for the bounce back up. CDIO pulling back to a resistance level. I'm seeing the sellers and the buyers are pretty much having a battle over this stock, and that's what you see here. GDC is at a resistance level. Let's see if it can break through, retest, and run up. It is retesting. It could run up from here. Not looking bad down here. We have lots of data on this one. Buyers are coming in. It is going to run up. The buyers are dominating. So we're going to have to learn to play this indicator. It's giving good information. Still running. The only way I guessed it was going to run up was I was watching these lines. Looks like we're halted. Rodney, you must have been a subscriber before. You don't remember your password, you may have to get another email address to sign up or remember your password. Yeah, it's definitely halted. Rodney, let me get you another link and try to sign in from a new, fresh link. Let's see how that goes. Sometimes that fixes the issue. Rodney, try that link. You cannot place orders when it's halted. You can set the order, but it's not going to execute unless the stock resumes. If it resumes below your stop, it will not execute and you just lose more. From what I saw, when it halted, there were more buyers than sellers. Chances are it's going to gap up at open, at resumption. That's what caused the halt, was a big, large buyers came in. Could have been multiple buyers, but when I looked at it, it was like, I don't know, 50,000 maybe, 60,000. It has resumed. You're not out. What's your decision? Now we're halted down. Rodney, you join our Discord. Watch video number 8 and how-to videos. Rodney, here's a link to the Discord. If you missed it a while ago, I posted it earlier. Turning red in the market. SPY slightly pulling down. Rodney, everything you see up here is custom. You won't find these on ThinkorSwim. I coded everything. Rodney, I'm not going to continue to answer your question. I just answered you. You keep asking the same question over and over. Everything's slowly moving up. We do have stocks moving. They're not just day trading, scalping stocks. They kind of just been on an angle. They're good, they're profitable, but it's a long-term hold. I'm not that trader. Not seeing anything volatile enough for me to jump in and scalp. They're all just kind of slight angles up. You can always chance them, trust them, figure out how to trade them. Me, I'm a spike player. Give me some spikes. Give me some high volume. Give me some pullbacks, and I'll get in. So my time's running out. In about 10 minutes, I'll be getting out of here. If you haven't joined our YouTube, I just put the link in the chat. Subscribe to YouTube. That's where I earn a little bit of money to keep this going. Like the videos, watch the videos, comment on the videos, let YouTube know I'm doing a good job here. It helps me keep the channel ratings higher. If you haven't joined our Discord, I'll post the link once again in the chat. You can also find this link in the description of each video. Join our Discord, accept the disclaimer, all the channels will pop in. There's the link to Discord. You need help installing, watch video number 8 and how-to videos once you're in Discord. You'll find this setup and current setup on Discord. It's steps 1 through 4. It's probably going to be 1 through 5. Eventually, we'll add this one to it. Appreciate everyone who viewed the live stream this morning. Hope you made a little bit of money. If you have any support questions, post them in support over on Discord. I'll get to you as soon as I can. If I can't get to you, everybody's helping. That somebody will get to you. If they don't, they may be trading or they may be tied up doing something else. Just be patient when you post your question. Someone will eventually reply to it. Got to remember there's over 2,000 of us. There's quite a few questions. It's not like we can just jump on one as soon as it's posted, but we try to. You are very welcome. We'll do this again tomorrow morning in pre-market. Come make some money with us. A little bit easier in pre-market instead of chasing these long, slow risers. I'm still watching the high flyers. I'll probably sit here till about 10:30. See if I can squeeze a play out of one of them. You're welcome, Mr. Rodriguez, James, Bob Peterson, Robert 51, Hollywood, Scott Drummer, K. Trump, Michael, Mario, and everyone. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you, Scott, Godani, Picker. Seeing the SPY pulling back. It's probably going to all end at the same time, me and the market. Thank you, Rodrigo. You too. Eric Hansen. I don't know who DKO is, but thank you, sir. Or ma'am, I can't tell gender on here. I have been wrong several times. Thank you, Dudley and Ron. My Flash. It's great joy for me to bring this to you guys for free. Let's try to keep it free. If you can afford it, there's a Patreon link. If you want to donate to the channel, help me keep it going. You'll find it over on Discord. It says Patreon. Thank you, Mr. Danish and Frank and Lewis. About 4 more minutes, I'll be hanging it up. Looks like the market's dying right along with me pulling out of here. So if you never watched this high flyer scanner, stick with it today. Watch it. Look for these stocks to pop in this number one position. See if you can make a play on them. You may not get a pullback. You may have to run up with them. You can get a pullback. It's always a safer entry. Thank you, Martin and Brave. I have nothing to hide. I want to steer you in the right direction as fast as I can. All you got to do is participate. If you were here through the whole session, you know it works. You know the indicators work. Dudley, I doubt that. Sounds good when you say it, though. I just know what time it dies. I've been doing it for so long. And I won't tell you why it dies, because I cause wars when I say that. See you later, Broke Joe. So if you're still here, have a very blessed day. And as always, God bless. I'm a Christian boy for all of my life. Keep the faith, keep the trading, keep learning. You'll get it eventually. It don't take long. I appreciate everyone who joined this morning, and I'm pretty much out of here. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.